Hello, everybody. I just thought I'd come on and do a live, just randomly. I decided about 30 seconds ago that I was going to do it. So it's tea time on a Friday. What are we all up to? I should have announced this really. I was planning to do one yesterday evening actually, but that didn't come to fruition. But we don't mind. See who's about, who's going to jump in. Might be a little bit early for this kind of thing anyway. Everybody's going to be actually having the tea. So I am going to be ordering mine because I'm feeling lazy. So let's see who is in the chat, if anybody. I don't think there's anybody in, but I don't mind. Quite happy to chat to myself. Say hi if you're sticking your head in the door. 5 people watching. I've been out and about today actually. I've done very little listing. I've had a skivy day today. I knew I was going to be doing some listing tomorrow. Still got plenty of stock that I need to get on. A lot of clothing as well, but some really high-end stuff. I went to my golden goose of a source I go to once a month. I think it was Monday before last. Yep, Monday before last, and got an absolute rake of really good quality high-end clothing, which is selling through quite nicely. So I'm not seeing any comments. I don't know why. What's that one? That's just this. That's just the farmyard one. StreamYard one. Anyway, I thought I'd do live because next weekend I was going to say playing away, but that sounds wrong. I'm going to another rally next weekend, and it's my favourite rally of the year, bar none. And on the Sunday, it'll be my birthday. I'll be 51. I know I don't look it. I certainly don't act it. Give us a shout in the chat. Who have we got in? Maybe if I open the YouTube. Oh, here we go. Turn the volume off. Hi, Brian. Yeah, going to Pill next weekend. Pill is a perverts in leather rally, which is, it's just the best. I was trying to talk Richard and James into coming with me, but they weren't having it. I've been keeping very, very quiet about it. Yeah, but I'm really buzzing about it. Really buzzing. Got myself a new tent. Let me show you this tent. I got it off Amazon. I was looking for a pop-up tent because I did have some Tesco value ones, which are just crap. And tents are something that obviously are an essential part of the camping experience. But check this out. I might be taking some wing mirrors out on my way to the rally because it's quite wide. So I'm kind of thinking I might get away with it, but we just have to see how it pans out. So, have I got an outfit? Yes, I have got an outfit. It's another inflatable one. I think me and Brian have had conversations in the past about the shenanigans that I get up to at this rally. I probably won't, not at a tea time live. I probably won't mention some of the stuff that goes on there, but I mean the clue's in the title really. Yeah, but this year's an inflatable one. I've copped out. I've not made my own or anything like that. So what are we up to this weekend, folks? Are we out boot sailing? So next Supreme, quite glad to see you leaving Winnick on Sunday. Yeah, I wasn't there very long. It's kind of I don't know. You might find the same actually. It's an okay boot sale. To be fair, I've only ever got there late. I say late, probably about 9 o'clock, something like that. But it's really claustrophobic. I don't know whether it's because of the marshalling when the sellers are turning up, but there's loads of bottlenecks for the buyers, and I just find it really claustrophobic and annoying. And of course, I've got my trolley with me as well, so I'm running a very strong risk of upsetting people with my trolley. Hi Dave, any experience of selling Riley sneaker cues? I picked up one today from charity shop. Can't find an exact one for sale anywhere. It looks old. I haven't. No. I have looked at cues generally in the past. Never really found any value in them, and I think that combined with the fact that they're a bit more of a pain in the chuff to send out, I've just not really invested any kind of time into doing any research with it. Brian's selling at a boot sale in Helsby tomorrow. Where about Helsby? Why does that ring a bell? Whereabouts is that, Brian? He's selling at both, or so? Not a fan of selling at boot sales, and maybe do that once or twice a year. But it's I just don't like standing in one place for too long. Spectrum Flipper, how you doing, sir? Off to Bowley this Sunday. I get bowley and bowlers mixed up. They're definitely different, aren't they? I've been at bowlers a few times, but not for a while. I'm not even sure if it's still on, actually, that one. So I'm trying to decide. Oh, yeah, near Frodsham. Cool. I'm trying to decide what to have for my tea at the minute. I'm feeling a Chinese. Yeah, get rid of some clutter. I'll take it it's your own stuff, Brian, rather than shop stuff. Who else we got in the chat? John, how you doing, sir? Si. So is anybody not boot selling tomorrow and having a few scoops tonight? I've got into the habit for quite a while now, with the exception of maybe 2 or 3 times this year, of having Saturday off. I mean, obviously downtime is really, really important. And I don't really lie in anymore anyway. I think after working with Brian for so many years and getting my ass out of bed at bloody stupid o'clock in the morning, I've forgotten how to have a lie-in. So a lie-in for me now is like maybe 8 o'clock. But tomorrow I'll be taking the day off. It's looking pretty crappy out there, actually, so that might be a good call. I've not checked the weather reports, but if today's anything to go by, it's not going to bode well. Chop, how you doing? Good evening. And Darren, how are you, sir? A new name for me, Florentine Caracas. Hi, Dave. You coming Wednesday at Fitzwilliam? I am going to try. Yeah. Just to give you guys an update of, in fact, this might be new news to Brian, actually, unless it's been included. Up until probably 2-3 weeks ago now, say from October of last year up until about 3 weeks ago, I went back working for the motorcycle wholesaler that I work with Brian, who's in the chat. And basically, because the boot sales are closed during the winter, the turnover of stock is very, very low. I mean, the Christmas trade has been historically carried me through the quiet periods in the winter. So going back to work for the motorcycle wholesale 3 days a week, it was an extra stream of income that just made the winter period a little less worrying financially. And of course, going into this year, my train of thought with that was I wanted to hit the ground running with sort of like finances going into this year, rather than playing catch up a little bit, which I have done the last couple of years. Anyway, it's got to the stage now, because the boot sales are back on in full effect, that it was actually being a hindrance. As harsh as it might seem, I was leaving a lot of money on the table not going to the Yorkshire boot sales during midweek. So I decided to pull the plug on that. I've obviously left on good terms. I love the firm and all the people that work there. One of the main reasons for going back, aside from the financial sort of like benefit, was the fact that I'm working with real people. because obviously in this game, my business is based at home. So the only people I was talking to are people in charity shops or at boot sales and all that kind of stuff. And the one thing that being solely self-employed, sounds like an unusual way of putting things, the one thing that is really underestimated is the banter that you don't have with people. So going back to that firm was a blessing in that respect as well. But like I say, it's getting to the stage now where I can't ignore how much I'm leaving out how much trade I'm leaving. Anyway, short answer to your question is, yeah, I will be at Fitzwilliam on Wednesday. Yeah, different bowlers isn't on anymore. All right, okay. Decided to rent out the space for a venue, I think. Yeah, I've been there once for a gig, the Festival of the Dead, probably going back about 5 years or so now. And the adverts, I mean, the adverts for it were absolutely tremendous. And that's what convinced me to go. But it was crap. It was just like a early 90s rave with a few extra costumes. Yeah, it wasn't pants, and it was £5 a pint, and I'm stingy. Okay, I think I've gone through those. Yeah. A few drinks tonight, Bursco on Sunday. That sounds like a bloody good plan to me. Chinese. In fact, I need to nip to the shop to get some Jack Daniels as well. I won't be hitting it hard because I need to save myself for next weekend. The rally next weekend is actually a 3-day rally because of the Jubilee weekend. But I'm only going 2 days because I'm getting on a bit now. I'll be 51 on the Sunday, and that just adds to it being a great rally because it's my birthday weekend as well. Partly cloudy tomorrow. Up our way. It's yeah. I mean, looking out the window. I know it's probably prejudging it, but you guys are probably you may or may not agree with this. That you can kind of get a sense for how busy a boot sale is going to be by the day before, not how the weather's going to be on the day. But even if it's forecast nice weather for the Sunday, but it's been absolutely hammering it down on the Saturday, I think it still puts a lot of people off because that's obviously when they're going to be loading the cars up. I've got something to show you in a minute anyway, and you may or may not take the piss. There is method in the madness. I'll come on to that in a minute anyway. Let's get through the chat. Hi, Chris. Nice to see you as well, sir. How about a curry, Dave? That's what we're having. Oh, I do like a curry. I can't go too spicy these days because, well, just because. I don't want to finish that sentence because it's just tea time. If you're not bothered about distance, every Sunday there are 2 massive car boots in Doncaster Stadium. Second Noel Coates car boot, like 45 minutes drive from Fitzwilliam. Yeah, I did actually. I think it was last year. I went over to Yorkshire over the weekend because the weather was considerably different than it was in Lancashire. It was absolutely awful in Lancashire. So headed over the Pennines, and I think it 3 or 4 boot sales. And had an absolutely belting day. But locally, we were quite spoiled in Lancashire on a weekend. It's just during the week, aside from one in Warrington, which, well, it's the Winnick boot sale that we mentioned before. It's never really taken off the ground properly. So the likes of Fitzwilliam and hopefully, touch wood, I'm going to be trying to get to Strawberry Field next week as well on a Thursday. So, yeah, but the weekend, not so much. I stay local because there really is a lot to go at. Tesco's got a JD on offer. What's the offer? I might actually nip there actually to get some stock in for next weekend. How you doing, Chrissy? Sunny here in Poole. My God, I'm thinking about turning the heating on. I know, yeah. Absolutely minted. The lovely Shay, how are you? Good evening to you. And Chris, what's going on here? I know, yeah, Chris, it's just like a random live. I've got 35 people in the chat as well. It's just staggering. I decided 2 minutes before doing the live that I was going to come and do it because I've had a really good day. I went over to see my daughter at work and bought myself a new toy. My oldest daughter works for Crazy PC World. She has her own store. Both of my girls are very proud of them, obviously, and they're both doing very well for themselves. So I bought myself an iPad mini because, well, I just justified it. I didn't actually need it, but the justification is it's easier for me to work on the move, and I'm really getting back into going to the gym now, which has been a long time coming. And what I've noticed is if I watch something on Netflix while I'm on a cross trainer, I can do an hour and not even think about it. So what are you guys up to this weekend anyway? Got anything exciting planned? I think over this next week I'll be really hitting it hard with the sourcing and the listing, particularly the listing, so that I can invest a lot into going to this rally as far as effort is concerned. Can you tell I'm really looking forward to it? Lauren's going car booting. Whereabouts are you from, Lauren? What are the boot sales like in your area? Thirsk. Oh, there you go, Thirsk. She answered the question. You must have known I was going to ask it. I've been to Thirsk a few times actually. When I first joined the army in the early 80, what would it have been now? 1988. My first posting was Catterick Garrison, so I know the area reasonably well. There's quite a lot going on in Thirsk. In fact, I'm over that way in about 3 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. There's a big rally on called the Farmyard Party. That is a big old rally near Helmsby. Don't know if you're familiar with that. Chris is going to a birthday car boot on Sunday. Your birthday or the car boot's birthday? I feel the urge to say thank you again, Chris, to you, because all those Avengers things that you gave me sold. One of them's actually being sent back to me because it was a customer return for Amazon and it can't be resold for whatever reason. I did find out actually why. I didn't have a problem with selling any of them, but the chap that you got them off, I think I found out the reason why he had a problem. God only knows how old the stock was, but the app for the Avengers thingy, it wasn't supported anymore and it was out of date. So it didn't make it useless. It just meant that to figure out how to make the thing work in its different configurations, you had to basically watch YouTube for other people doing it. So that might be the reason. So to everybody else in the chat, that's not going to make the blindest bit of sense. So I'm still working the way through building Lego for reselling. I don't know what it is. I've really turned off Lego. I have been for a while now. It drives me nuts. I think I spent too many hours just sifting through it. Picking up a large job lot of cloths tomorrow. Close. Is that from wholesaler or do you get lucky on marketplace? I got lucky on marketplace this morning selling a load of records that were just rubbish. I'm amazed I got what I got for them actually. There's about 30 records and got 40 quid for them, and it was real dog do as well. I'll start watching you, a big pile of unlisted stock next to me. I'm thinking so much more tomorrow. This is such a distraction, YouTube, isn't it? Sorry, pal. I don't think you really needed any excuse to get distracted, mate, so I don't feel too guilty. Good luck with it anyway. If you need a bit of motivation, just choose the big items first, and as soon as you can see a bit of floor space or a bit of shelf space, then I'll motivate you to crack on. Over 20 degrees in Sussex. I think the Southerners have got all the weather today. Unless it's some old stock I've had from an auction a year ago, so Found a new start. Fund a new start. What's a new start? I'm really intrigued. Are you relaunching yourself into reselling, or have you got a new project on the go? Right, I'll have a couple more comments and then I'll show you this thing I've paid rather a lot of money for, relatively speaking. And you may or may not think I've lost my mind. I am actually going to do a video. I'll explain why, but I am actually going to do a video. So this is sort of like a sneak preview. Right, that makes sense. Will be one of the manufacturers pulling all the ones being resold off eBay. Yeah, I didn't get any kind of friction from anywhere. Obviously, I only sent them into Amazon. I didn't try and sell them on eBay. I didn't get any friction at all. They all flew out pretty quickly. So I undercut the only other seller on Amazon by about a fiver. So obviously, and mine were FBA rather than merchant fulfilled. So I would have got the preference on the sales anyway. I did meet at Norcross the other week when I live very near you, and I remember it. My cousin White. No, I think it was a few weeks. Yeah, it was nice to meet you, sir. I'm shocking with names, so you may or may not have been in the video. I'm pretty sure I did one actually. That was the bank holiday weekend, wasn't it? Because I think I did 6 boot sales that weekend and did 3 lots of videos off the back of it, two per kind of video, if you will. That makes us state the obvious here already. That's no, fair enough. I'm the same about my golden goose. Fair enough, mate. You could have generalised. Good evening, Claire. How are you? It's down south. They've got the really nice weather. Is it barbecue weather? Go on, make us northerners feel even more jealous. Tell me it's barbecue weather. Being cutting my grass today. Is that a euphemism, Chris? Been doing a bit of baking. Right. Anyway, I'll show you what I've got. I've got a few things. What I'm just about to show you is from an auction job lot. I spent 300 quid at the auctions on Monday, and I'm still really new to auctions. So as much as I like to think that I'm good at researching and all that kind of stuff, I really like to push it sometimes. I'd stop shy of saying it was a gamble, because there is research involved in this. Anyway, this is the item, or the one item that I paid £130 for plus fees, so it'd be close to 150. So I don't know if you can see the make there. It's a heavy thing, a solid brass carriage clock. Is that going to focus? It's not going to focus. No, it's not going to focus. Let's try one more time. No, it's not going to happen. This is Russell's Limited of Paris. There is actually one comp for a carriage clock like this, and the comp was for £650. So obviously it pricked my ears up. It's a different clock, albeit by the same kind of era. This one does need a service, so it does work on the top. You can actually see when it's serviced, you can see the mechanism all ticking away. It's an absolutely beautiful bit of kit. Now, research leads me to suspect, that's the little key in there actually. This little key. Research leads me to suspect that call it £150, because like I say, there's fees as well, is safe, even with it not being serviced. I haven't priced how much it would cost me to service, but I'm thinking that worst case scenario, absolute worst case scenario, I'll make my money back comfortably. I've got a very strong feeling about that. It was only loosely based on research though. So what do you reckon? Safe bet or muppetry? Okay, some more comments. go. I just used to do auctions alongside my full-time job as a hobby. I want to go into auctions, car boots, charity shops, see if I can go full-time down the line. Yeah, absolutely. It's a ballsy move, but it's definitely worthwhile. Best thing I ever did was go full-time at reselling. I just love the freedom. I just absolutely love the freedom. I spent far too much time working for the man. So that's about it, I think. The other items I've got, it's a real mixed bunch. I'll show you anyway. Some of the other stuff I've got. Right. First one is this a professional life preserver buoyancy aid. This Rescue 800. There is actually a couple of comps for this at about £100. So the cost price on this was, I think I paid £20 plus fees. So that'll be getting listed for £100. And very randomly, a leatherette stool with the Queen Anne legs. I've sold a couple actually of stools like that for reasonable money. I think that was less than £20. I should have prepped these actually to show you. But like I say, it was very much a last minute decision to do the live. Some speakers. The front's fallen off one. These speakers are, I forgot what they are actually. It says on the front. Acoustics speakers. They feel like proper substantial speakers. Again, didn't pay very much for these. So listing value on those, I'm probably going to be aiming for about £40 to £50 because they're higher end. And a box of absolute tat here. Towards the end of the auction, they just sort of like, I suppose, piss all the just crap away at the end. So this is very much a gamble box, but related to how much I paid for it, then I don't know, I'll get my money back. So we've got a Panasonic SDR T70 digital camcorder. What the hell is that? Cheap and cheerful digital camcorder. This one is a Sony Handycam DCR SR57. So it's, in a lot of cases, stuff like this sells, it's still got a value, spares and repairs. So compared to what I paid for it, then save money. An old camera, which is a cosmic symbol. I've never heard of that ever. So I think this probably could have used more as an ornament than anything else. A case, some kind of nastiness. Looks like a lens adapter. Cheap and cheerful tripod that looks broken and incomplete. A JVC super high brand processor digital camcorder. Now this was quite interesting actually. I did actually do the research on this. This is a Queen Victoria silver double florin in its presentation case with its little certificate of authenticity, and even the coin itself in sort of like a plastic inner case. Absolutely beautiful bit of kit. I've got the I can tell you how much I paid for that actually. I did actually pay up for it. So £27 plus fees, but I did check comps and price this up at around about the £60 mark. So it should be, in fact, the ones that were on at £60 were just the coin on its own. So with the case and the certificate of authenticity, it's actually a silver coin, a solid silver. So I should be comfortably doubling up on money on that one. And so we've got here a set of brass weights for scales. Again, didn't pay very much for those. You'll have seen in a lot of the videos that I pick up scales quite often. The cast iron ones, they use mostly for ornamental purposes. The price of them, the resale value of them, is quite low without the weights. So I think I paid about £3 or £4 for this set of weights, which will double the value of the scales compared to not having any scales. Compared to not having any weights. And that's all. There is a few other pieces. What have we got? There's an old typewriter, nested tables, and a vintage briefcase. So nothing staggering apart from potentially that clock. So I'll keep you posted how that goes. So I think what I intend to do with that clock is I'll list it as needing servicing, and obviously be honest in that. I will be listing it as an auction. I very rarely do auctions. It's almost exclusively buy it now. But I think it's the type of item that lends itself to an auction. I'll start it at more than I bought it for, obviously. I'm thinking starting at maybe, say, £250 as a start, as an opening bid, and then see where it goes. If it doesn't sell after 7 days, say, then I'll look into getting it serviced and doing a proper job of listing it as a fully working, fully serviced kind of thing. I think it may take a few cycles because it'll be hanging around for the right buyer. But when it does sell, I think it'll sell for very strong money. Perhaps not as much as the comp that's on eBay at the moment at £650, but like I say, I'm pretty confident it's saved money. That is that. So nothing really else to show you. So here we go, catching up on the chart. I think I've already gone through that. Over 20 degrees here in Sussex. Do you know what? It's bloody cold up here at the minute. I'm really feeling it. Well, that jumps. I don't know what's going on with the chart. It keeps bloody jumping all over the place. Most of those cassette players knackered from your last lot. I think probably about half. Probably about half of them. I mean, because some of the important ones work though. The Sony Discman and Walkman, and there was a Walkman radio as well, Sony Walkman radio. So I'm way into profit, but I think of about, what was it? There were about 10 or 11, probably about 4, maybe 5 of them were knackered. But I sold those as spares and repairs. Not for very much, but it was something. It was certainly worth doing. That's why I love reselling everything from myself. Absolutely, buoyancy aids and never gets boring. That's absolutely right. I mean, it really appeals to my kind of nomadic nature of doing stuff. I like keeping shit interesting. Let me get rid of all this stuff. Lovely jubbly. Good evening, Pete. I saw your video earlier. Pete the Monkey Thrifter is nothing whatsoever to do with monkeypox. How you doing, Ollie? Good to see you, my friend. Right, I can feel my belly is starting to tell me it's takeaway time. Tam and Bell is in. Hello, hello. Martin, here we are. Evening, Mr. Keith. Hope you're well. I've sold any of your football shirts yet? Yes, I have. Yeah, I've sold 3. Which ones when? I sold the black Carlsberg, what I called a training top, which actually wasn't a training top, but that's actually been returned to me because even though I never just put the size of garments in a listing, I always put the sizing as well. But even so, put the sizing in, it's been sent back because it's too small. I sold the white standard chartered Liverpool top as well. That went for £21, I think. And there was another one as well. Yeah, so there's those 2, one of which has been returned, and another one that escapes me at the minute. So yeah, I mean, it was in education, wasn't it? The feedback that I got off that video was brilliant, though. I certainly know a bit more about football shirts than now than I did before that video because of the comments on it. I'm certainly nowhere near where I need to be to buy them with confidence, though. Evening, sir. How are you? You were out and about this weekend? Was it Chirk or Norcross I saw you at? I can't remember. I'm getting old. Love the monkey video, Peter. Yeah. Were you on your way out to meet a lady, Peter, or did you get dressed up especially for the video? This is really what I want to know. That was my takeaway from that video. You looked like you were off out on the pool. Very dapper, sir. Very dapper indeed. Yeah, well, yeah, Martin. It's sorry I didn't hang around for chat. You know, I'm really conscious about this when people stop me in the field and what have you. I absolutely love it. It's brilliant and meeting people and whatnot. But I'm really super conscious of being rude. And there's a guy I bump into regularly, Wes. He's in the ABL Reselling group, Facebook group as well. I met him loads and loads of times, but every single time I bump into him at the boot sales now, he says hello to me because I'm like my head's down on the tables and all that kind of stuff, super focused, and I must have come across as really rude. So if that was the case, Martin, I apologise. Good to meet you anyway. I was going to ask how you were getting on with those condoms, Chris. Maybe a bad choice of words. In fact, that's what Chris Parkinson was saying before. It's just a variety of stuff we're picking up. I got a load from Norcross, I think, last visit but one. I got a load of incontinence, men's incontinence wear, trolleys or pads or whatever they were. And they sold really, really quickly. Evening, Jason. How are you doing? Is this somebody offering me a takeaway? No. Well, that's just not good enough. I'm really hungry now. Is anybody else having Chinese and Jack Daniels for tea? He sold them. Oh, sorry, I think I'm jumping in on somebody else's chat there. Pete, I think you might do well as sort of like a door-to-door fruit and veg salesman as well. I don't know where that come from. I'm really, Pete, you're still in the chat. Let me know. Still wear jeans, but smart to meet a lady. So you were going out on a date. We need to know. This is better than bloody EastEnders. Pete, we need to know where you were going and who you were meeting and why. Or were you just back from your court appearance? Oh, sorry, I said I won't mention that. Sorry, mate. I jokes. Right, I've done 40 minutes. I'm going to wrap this up. If anybody wants to, oh, Kath, no, I can't go now. Kath's just turned up. I know this was sort of like a guerrilla live, like striking out of nowhere. But come on, should we pay more attention, Kath? Friday night without chicken balls, Dave. Absolutely. I prefer the Szechuan, to be fair. In fact, I've got a toss up. I always do the mixed because I like a mixture of meat and whatnot, but I'll either be going satay or Szechuan tonight. I'm leaning towards Szechuan though, bit of spice. Free Willy, hello. What have I missed? Yeah, well, Chris was explaining the condoms. I think it was it Chris or Pete? I thought it was Chris. And we were trying to get out of Peter Monkey Thrifter if he was going on a court appearance or a date or both, because he was very smart in his Instagram live. Oh, I just dressed like that for the video. Yeah, you'll tell us anything. Are you coming to the Blackpool meetup, Dave? Is that on the 28th of June? Am I remembering right? I'm going to try my best. For some reason, that date is in my head. I can't remember why. It might be the meetup, but it might be something else. I will be doing my best to be there. Right, lovely people, I'm going to sign off and get my face fed and nip to the shop before it shuts to get some Jack Daniels. 25th of June. There you go. I was close. And that's presumably a Saturday. What's the time? So anyway, just bring everybody up to speed. 25th of June in Blackpool, there's a reseller meetup. I think it's Pete Pete Monkey Thrifter that is organised it. So if anybody is in the area and wants to meet up, I'll do my best to be there. I'm sure there'll be other familiar faces there. Kath's saying if I go, oh, Kath. That's pretty sweet. Yeah, I'll do my best. So if anybody else is available on the 25th of June, Blackpool's the place to be. Right, folks, enjoy your weekend. Hope you have a lot of success in the field. Looks like I might be heading down south if this weather holds up. Have an absolute whale pox are the worst, absolutely. Random. Not a problem at all, Pete. I'll speak to you soon. All the best to you, lovely people. Thanks again, and I will see you when I see you.